What's up? This is Ray with Get Real Ray, a place and space for life and business tips to hopefully inspire you on your journey, or at the very least, provide you with some laughs, okay? So now, let's get real about Ness City, Kansas. Okay, so I've been driving across country. I've always wanted to do a cross-country road trip. It is on the bucket list. When I moved from California to New York, I took the Greyhound, and this was way back in the day. I had very limited money. I mean, has much changed? Has much changed in the years because I am doing this move right now with limited money. However, at the time, I'd never been to New York City before. I did not have any job lined up, didn't have any friends lined up. I booked a hotel, which was really a hostel, and well, I've done other videos about that. All I'm gonna say is it was not just a hostel for travelers, young people traveling to the city. It also housed, I'm gonna say, like, maybe some resident New Yorkers. Look, there was one guy who lived at the end of the hall. I know he wasn't paying for that room, and well, he wasn't paying out of his pocket. He always stayed in that room. He was a hoarder. The room was crowded, shy. It was a very small room. It was like the size of a closet, maybe. Maybe it was a lot bigger, but you just couldn't tell because he was a hoarder, and there was just stuff piled from floor to ceiling. Literally, that room was a fire hazard. He would walk down the hall, he would spit on the wall, and like talk to himself, and then when he would walk into his room, he would just be able to enter the door, and then he would turn around, and I think he had like a chair, and they could close the door. And that was it. Because the rest of the room was just filled with bags of stuff. I'm trying to think if there was like a TV in there or something. It would have been chair and then maybe like a little TV next to the door. Or maybe he just sat in the chair and stared at the door. Okay, it's been a while, but the talking to stuff, the spitting on the walls, the safety hazard. I was like, this man lived down the hall from me? What is going on? Where am I living? Anyway, so yes, that's what I thought. I was just going to some cheap, like, low budget hotel. I mean, I hadn't really booked many hotels. Actually, I don't even know, I hadn't booked many hotels before in my life. I mean, there was that place in San Francisco where, like, the cleaning guy really liked me, and he kept spraying air freshener under my room door. But, I mean, was it really a hotel when you can rent the room by the hour? Just saying. Okay, so I didn't have a whole lot of experience in booking hotels, and I didn't have anything set in stone waiting for me in New York. I was just like, I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing in California anymore. I'm so lazy, I'm going. And so I left, and I went, and I did that. And that Greyhound bus ride, I got nothing against Greyhound. I mean, Greyhound and I have had issues over the years. Oh, yes, we have. I used to do the super commuter trek from Brooklyn, New York to Philadelphia. But I think it was like 3 times a week to go teach dance classes in Philadelphia and like workshops. Oh, my goodness. And I had some amazing students. I just didn't have enough students. That seems to be a thing for me with live classes. I have these amazing students who are so diehard. Then I have these other students who come in and they're like, yeah, this has been great. And they might show up like, again, every so often, like every blue moon. Or like, oh yeah, I'm not doing 20 other things. I thought I was going to come to class tonight, but I saw you cancel. Well, I didn't know you was going to come and not enough people signed up. So yeah, I cancel. I don't just travel 3 hours one way just for the fun of it. But anyway, am I bitter? No. The life is not easy, y'all. So, point being, Greyhound and I have had issues in the past. But this time around, I said, well, back then, I said, oh, little girl who's sitting next to me eating your pickle. Oh, this pickle is super smelly and creeping me out. I have this thing about pickles, and so please, child, please let me just stay asleep. It's hard to sleep because I keep smelling your pickle, and don't fall asleep on me. Oh God. Yeah. Now, Greyhound will let you buy it on the app. You could just buy those 2 seats. So you can set it up where no one sits next to you. I was like, what? Okay, why do I know this? Because I recently rode the Greyhound for the first time in like, I want to say, oof, 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Maybe the first time in 8 years, okay? I was like, okay, Greyhound. These seats, they still look the same. They still could use a little love. But the driver was mad nice. This was a shorter trip. This was from, where was I going? From Hartford, Connecticut to New York City. Much shorter trip. But, you know, I almost purchased those 2 seats, but I was like, actually, I could have saved my money right now. I wish I had purchased the 2 seats, because I had this guy sitting next to me, put his elbow on the elbow rest, and then slip over, and I'm like, oh. So anyway, okay, actually I didn't growl at him, but in my mind, I was growling at him. I have done it on the airplane, where I would like growl at somebody if they just keep elbowing me, and one lady was like, oh, and I'm like, well, you've elbowed me 3 times, ma'am. I don't know if you've realized this, but I can feel it. You've hit me 3 times. Well, come on, like control your limbs. If you can't control your limbs, then that's one thing. You know, if you have some sort of medical condition, I'm so sorry, I can't control my limbs, right? Or if you have a cognitive issue where I don't know, some sort of sensory issue, but I do not believe this was the case. You were just some person who feels like you could keep hitting me and I'm just gonna put up with it. No. And this is the thing with the shared armrest. Okay, it's not really a shared armrest. Really, what it is this is a barrier to kind of show people this is your box, that's that person's box. Don't be getting in each other's box. And when you are a bigger person, of course, you need to just, you know, you're like, oh man, my box is gonna spill a little. I'm gonna spill a little out of my box, right? And when one can't afford to, they either purchase a individual seat, right? Up in the business class, first class, whatever class, with those little seats that look all like cushy and they're bigger. Or, you know, they talk to the airline about what kind of seat do you have for the bigger person so that they are comfortable. They're not like, oh, sorry, I'm all up on you. And then some people just don't care. They're like, well, hope nobody gets sitting next to me, right? I understand. Money is a thing for many people. Got it, okay? I chose a seat. You chose a seat. We're going to make it through this flight. So, I tell you, having been on this journey of moving out of Indiana, don't worry, you guys. I'm going to get to the part about Ness City. But moving out of Indiana, and just all of the back and forth I have done over the past 45 days or so, I've really reminded myself of some goals I had, and they're now like, they've moved from goals to priorities to straight up rules, okay? So, now that I got my little car with me, the rule is, no more Greyhounds. And there's got to be, I have to be somewhere where it's like, no, I wouldn't take my car. I would just, Hampton Jitney is nice. I can't imagine, why am I on a Greyhound? Where am I going where I just have to be on a Greyhound? Maybe, is Greyhound international? I wonder. Like, is it in Mexico or something? Like, am I in Canada? I think Greyhound does go to Canada. So, there we go. If I'm on a Greyhound, it better be like going outside the United States. I don't need to be on a Greyhound in the United States, first off. Secondly, when I am on a flight, I need to be in one of those plush solo seats on the side. That is where I need to be. It's less one of those little puddle jumper planes, like the little commuter flight from, from Boston to Providence. I wouldn't pay for first class on that thing. You catch a flight the right time of day, you got the whole road to yourself. Oh, yes, you do. I always wonder about those airline stewardesses for the little puddle jumpers. They must be like, whoo, girl, it's going to be a long day at work. You know, can't wait till I can take those international flights. Or maybe it's the stewardesses who or stewards, I guess. There's also the guys, right? Who are just like, yo, I need to stay nearby because I want to see my family. I'm done with all that traveling. I need to chill, okay? I'm not out drinking all the time. I like a reliable schedule. So let's just do the same 1 hour flight 8 times a day, 6 times a day. We're good. Okay, maybe not 8 times. That would be a bit much. 6 times? 6 times maybe? I think they can do it in 6. 5 to 6. I'm just saying. They gotta have like a break and stuff. They gotta clean the plane. The plane's gotta turn around. Anyway. So, here I am. I have my rules in place. I picked up my car. And I said, look, car. We are going west. Now, I have a house sit coming up in Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I did not want to set myself up where I booked an Airbnb or a hotel and I couldn't get to Colorado Springs, right? Because the drive from Indiana to Colorado was going to take a hot minute. It's like 15 hours. And no, I think it was, about 15 hours, right? And I had to stop off at the, whatchamacallit, the storage unit to get some stuff out of storage, like my clothes, because I've been living out of black backpack, and I wanted to, have more than the same 4 pairs of pants to wear. So, loaded up the car with all kinds of lovely things. That car looks crazy right now. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. I still have my nephew's 22-inch computer monitor. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have this boxing stand that my mom said she wanted, which I don't think she really wants. But she said she wanted, so I'm going to bring it to her. And we'll just see what she says when I show up at her house with this boxing thing. So anyway, I drove all night. That's a great song. So I drove several hours, and I hadn't done a long drive in a while. I hadn't done my New York to Indy to New York drive in a while, and more importantly, I hadn't been in my car in 45 days. So it took a little getting used to oh, am I there yet? Oh my God, it's only been 2 hours. I think I need to stop and get some water. I think I need to stop again. So I drove, and I had these visions of taking lots of video of the road and stopping in these different towns and taking pictures. And I tried to go to the St. Louis Arch, and I was like, I'm going to have vegan lunch in St. Louis, and I made a wrong turn. I drove right by the arch. I made a wrong turn, and then I went back on the freeway. I was like, oh, this sucks. Maybe I get off at the next exit. No, it keeps going. Oh gosh, no. And why are these streets so small? And so anyway, I felt like I'm going here for lunch. I can't think. I just need to go here for lunch. Oh no, it's at a strip mall where pretty much everything looks closed, and the lunch place is closed on Sundays. And now I look at my Google Maps and I change the filter, and oh, most things are closed on Sundays. But I did manage to go find some food at what I believe is the cutest Starbucks that I've ever seen in the United States. Because the cutest Starbucks that I've ever seen in the United States just so happens to be in St. Louis, Missouri. Because it looks like in this little old-timey German, looks like a little old-timey German house or something. I don't know. Anyway, but I got my lunch, and I have to say, this lunch place, which also had a super cute building, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to this very fancy Chinese food restaurant, was actually, when you walked in, I felt like I was back in New York City. I was like, oh, there's some weird plastic chairs, and this looks ghetto. But the food was oh, this food is delicious. I felt like I received a serving from a top-end Chinese food restaurant, or, like a nice Chinese food restaurant. I'm saying Maybe you don't know. Maybe you're like, nah, right? Never been to one of those. Okay, I don't know. Well, the food was delicious. And so, if you were ever in St. Louis, Missouri, I'm going to have to put the name of that Chinese restaurant on this listing. So you too can hopefully go see the arch. And then after the arch, you make a very short drive over to the cutest Starbucks where you're not going to spend $3 for water. Because I'm sorry, I want to be like, yo, I don't even think it costs $3 in New York. How are you going to freaking charge me $3 in St. Louis? Really? But you can also go to the cutest Chinese food restaurant that appears to be a proper restaurant, but it is not designed inside for proper seating. So you just get your food to go and you will enjoy your food. I enjoyed my food outside my car. And then I drove some more and I had another stop and I said, okay, I gotta make a decision because I ain't gonna make it to Colorado tonight. But I need to make it as far as I can into Kansas. And so I just kind of looked at the Google map and was like, and then I plugged in something on the Airbnb and it enlarged that map and I just kept looking at prices. And I'm like, okay, this price looks good. Where's this? Oh, okay. Where's this price? And this price is nice. This place is available. Where's this? It's on my route. It's good. It's not going to change. Ness City. Never heard of Ness City. Ness City. Population of 1,232 people as of 2023. But a couple, I guess it was like 2022. I think it was 1,300 something. So population decline. Retirees here, families here. Not a whole lot here. But the night sky, when I got out of my car at 1 in the morning, I was like, ooh, I thought the stars in Cali were nice. I thought the stars in Indy were nice. But that's a lot of stars. And so I'm going to have to make sure I share those stars with you. And right now, I'm going to share this Airbnb with you because if you are on a cross-country road trip, you have to come to Ness City, Kansas. It's a cute little town. So let's explore.
And here we have it, downtown Ness City. I was actually impressed by that little sign that they had going on the side of a building and pleasantly surprised to see that there was a museum. However, there really wasn't much else going on downtown. A few little restaurants, looks like it was maybe Mexican food. The grocery store was sad in terms of not a lot of fresh produce at all. It was kind of unfortunate. I did consider the restaurants, but again, I was out and about when everything was pretty much closed. I was really impressed by this large sign outside of this restaurant / cafe. And there's another signage for a restaurant, but that's pretty much it. That's downtown, people. Downtown Ness City, population just over 1,000. But if you go to Ness City, definitely go for the night sky.